Hello, YouTube. How are we doing? Okay, today, hello, I'm here. I've done my air bike. It was quite testing today. Only 4 minutes. Totally 100% recommend it if you want to incorporate cardio conditioning for the old lungs. Just because you can do a very, very short exercise but still burn a good amount of calories. Obviously, we don't take too much from them, and also get a good sweat on. So it's a good way of warming up a little bit, obviously outside of doing what your normal warm up is, but also it's just a good way of a bit of conditioning. I do it on intervals, 20 to 10. So 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off, 4 minutes. I'm at the moment doing it about 3 times a week. Eventually we'll up it to 4. And then the aim is to increase the time that I'm doing, but not yet. It's enough as it is, and it's nice because I've always been doing cardio, but sitting 20 minutes to half an hour on a bike or a running machine, it's just rubbish. It does the job, but it's boring. Whereas 4 minutes on that, it's over here, by the way, and it's done and dusted. It's great, and I'm sweating. I'm going to warm up in a second. Again, I won't show you the warm up; it's boring. But we are deadlifting today. So I've got another bar in a minute, which I'm going to warm up with, and then this is set up for hopefully 200 times 5. But I'm not going to lie, I'm not 100% today. I can tell from the air bike. I've still got some sort of residual thing going on. Not even gallbladder related, something completely different that seems to be linked to labyrinthitis, possibly linked to a medication I started taking a couple of weeks ago. So we shall see. But ideally 200 times 5, followed by 3 sets of 160 times 5 as well. And then that'll be me done. Not too concerned about the 160. 160 for me is pretty simple now, which is awesome. Like, it's an awesome concept that it's a thing people forget, that yes, of course, it's impressive when you can do incredible things like 300, 505, 200, but don't forget that 100 kilos plus for any of you, in fact, lower, obviously, in some capacity, because of course, some of you are complete novices, is insane. Don't forget, it's insane. Think about your own weight as well. Like I said, I'm around the 130 mark. So 160 is 30 kilos above. 200 is 40 kilos. No, what did I say? 130, 70 kilos above. So just remember about what you're actually lifting. Yes, of course, in the future, you want to lift a lot more. Yes, of course, you want to be able to beat other people. Of course. But remember, for your own self, strongman is about you. Strong man, strong woman is about you. It's about what you can do and what you can do better every single day on the comp day. Doesn't matter what it is. That's what it's about. And don't forget that, because there are comps you'll walk into thinking, I'm good for this. And then you'll come at the bottom, because ultimately, unfortunately, the people who've entered are better. There's nothing wrong with that. So remember, strongman is about beating yourself. Yeah, of course, if you're going for England's and beyond, then yes, of course, you want to be winning it in the future. But just remember, in the early days, you just want to beat yourself. I did a comp back in April, one I actually managed to get to. I did in training, so it was a 12-inch axle. So 12 inch from the floor, axle. In training, max, I did 200. Didn't get above 200. In fact, when I went for the last, I was aiming to get 210 for 3. Didn't happen. Absolutely miles away. On the day, I hit 220 for a single, which is what we needed. Basically threw caution to the wind, because it was like, look, everyone else here, like, they hadn't even started. I did 180, 200. Most people hadn't even started by then. By the time I got to 220, that's when people were starting. I was outclassed. I was outmatched. Doesn't matter, because the point was I did a 20 kilo PB on that particular deadlift. 20 kilo PB. I trusted the process. I trusted what my coach did. Yes, in training, the fatigue was high. I really, really struggled at points during training because I'm managing health problems, etc. But on the day, we went, you know what? I could just go 210. I could go 205. It wouldn't matter. I would just come dead bottom. I actually coincidentally came 14th out of 15, so I didn't come dead bottom. That was awesome. But my point is, Don't worry about what other people are doing. You can only work within yourself. You're not going to turn up on the day and somebody gets 250 and your max is 220. You're not going to miraculously get 250. Yes, there are things you can do impressively on the day, but it's unlikely. So don't worry about it. You know, go test yourself, push yourself, and go beyond what you are able to do absolutely right now. It's one of my favorite sayings. It comes from Black Clover, Yami Shikihiro, who says, push past your limits right here, right now. That's all it's about. You're not going to push past someone else's limits. You're going to push past your own. And that's all that matters. Even if you match or you get an extra rep, doesn't matter. Just do what you can do, because that's what it's about. Because unfortunately, yes, there's sometimes beyond the day, there'll be people you turn up and you will be better than all of them or you'll be worse than all of them. It doesn't matter. Still put in your all. Comp back in April, I think I came dead last. Okay, I left there with my head held high. I hit a 55 kilo monster dumbbell PB. I hit a 20 kilo PB on that deadlift. I also got a keg PB, you know, like even though I wasn't that good at the kegs, I got a keg PB. So ultimately, in fact, I got a PB on the stone because I hadn't done 110. I'd only done 100 and 120. So I got a rep PB on the 110. In comp 3, in general 4, because I did finish the rep because I was so close, it got timed out, but I still finished it. I still got it. So from my own perspective, that's 4. Yes, from a comp perspective, it's 3. That's all it counted as. But in general, it was 4 for me overall. Anyway, I'm going to get set up for deadlifts and get sorted, get them filmed, and I will be back with you. Awesome. Well, that was intense. As you'll see from the video, that took a lot, if I'm honest. I mean, I was really pleased. Just got to watch, make sure my lockouts are very, very, very obviously stiffened. They're there, but when you watch back the video, I'm a bit like, could be misconstrued as a little bit soft. So, yeah. But I'm not too worried. Like, it's 200 for 5. My knees are locked, but it's just, yeah, again, because the competition I'm doing is powerlifting style, 3 lifts, etc. I want to be 100% sure, but I'm not, I'm not quibbling in the long run because, to be honest, I wasn't even sure I was going to get 1, let alone 5. You can see from the video, you can't hear it, but there was a serious shout for that 5th one. I did 200 times or 201 times 4 the other day, so times 5. It's not. I don't think it's a PB. It might be a match PB. But I'm not overly worried because progress, and we'll keep moving on from there, which is going to be incredible. So it's just nice. I was just thinking to myself that I remember when I first did 200, and I'm not going to lie, it was a really good 200. You can see the short of it. It's I was a lot bigger, so of course there was a little bit of mass in that, but at the same time, I was a lot less. I was less fitter, that'll do. And so, of course, it was a big deal, which is why, almost looks like I'm about to cry. Probably did. But yeah, it was pretty awesome hitting that because I'd wanted to do that way before I even started doing strongman. I'd said to myself, when I get back to the gym, I'd love to deadlift 200 kilos, partly because I wasn't really a deadlifter then, and partly because it was just a big thing to hit. And now, not only have I hit it, which was well over a year ago, 200 times 5, and on a different day, that would be 6, maybe even 7. I've got 200 for reps in my competition in November. Sorry, I'm standing in tacky, so it keeps sticking to the floor. Yeah, I've got 200 for reps, so that'll be good. And I think I'd hope to get 6 or 7 in that, if not more, because ultimately, I just purely because I'll be building to a max. We're still 8-9 weeks out from Lincolnshire's. I'm building to a max, so really for the next one, 200 for reps should be on point. Short prep, but obviously I'll have peak for Lincolnshire's. I have normally 2 weeks off around, so I have a week before and a week after, do the comp in the middle, so I should be pretty well rested give or take. Sometimes it takes me a while to recover. I've got 160, as mentioned, for 3 sets of 5. So we're really, really hamming up the volume. Makes me feel better knowing that I'll have done 20 reps today, because I did think the 200 wasn't going to go well, that I'd either have to back it off a little bit. So I'm really pleased, because to be honest, without sounding like a broken record, I'm probably only about 70-75% today of myself, if I'm honest. Like I said, at the moment, it's very, very up and down how I feel. So I'll be honest, it's really, really pleasing to be not 100%. Not that we're ever really 100%, but it's nice to be like 90%. It's nice to be quite far down, but still hitting those numbers. And that's tantamount to one's strength, because in the long run, I'm strong enough that 200 just goes. You know, it's not maybe today, maybe not, blah, 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 blah. It just goes. It just goes whatever happens. And that's really, really pleasing. If there's one thing I can recommend, guys, absolutely 100%, it's the shorts you wear. Yes, I know you're all standing there having to watch me in these tight shorts, and it looks like, as Ned Flanders says, I'm wearing nothing at all. However, it makes such a big difference. The amount of people I see slow their deadlift down because they're wearing long shorts or shorts that are kind of bunching up. You can't beat stuff like this. I'm not saying wear them to the gym. I'm not saying wear them the whole time. Like, I'll have another pair of shorts over these when I get to the gym, just because I'm not going to take them off because they're disgusting and all sweaty already. But it's so worth it. It's so worth it. Like, when you watch powerlifting, and let's take that as the epitome of some of the deadlift options, they wear tight singlets, you know, and the reason is because, of course, it keeps them nice and tight, keeps everything in, but also makes it a lot easier when it comes to pulling your deadlift. Women, obviously, you guys might wear leggings. And of course, that's the same. As long as they're not longer and they don't bunch, not longer, sorry, as long as they don't bunch up, they're going to slide much better. And it's so 100% worth it. It really, really is. It's totally worth doing. Anyway, I'm going to do my other sets, get them filmed, and then that's us done for today. So enjoy. That was killer in the end. 3 sets of 5 at 160. It's done. And it was good. But as you'll see from the last set, took quite a lot of doing in the end. That was a good deadlift session, considering, again, I'm not 100%, not even 90, probably not even 80. So the things I can do, and I text my coach in between, and his response was just, look at when we were doing 200 for 1 and I was bouncing around the gym in shock that I did it. And then today, 200 for 5 is basically a working set. And on a different day, again, probably 6 or 7. Absolutely insane. And then 160 being a back off. You know, it's just incredible. You know, when I was working trap bar, I hit 230. I've done 230 silver dollar, and I've done obviously the 12-inch 220. I've done a 220 from 18-inch, and I've done a 300 from 21. And it's just absolutely immense, absolutely immense. And it's just tantamount that someone like me, you know, I'm surprisingly, you might find from this video, I'm introverted, most likely on the spectrum, suffer from numerous mental health issues, including OCD. And I'm doing this, and it's just incredible. Like, to think that when you look at my life up until now, or up until 5 years ago, Yeah, I had some time in the gym, but I've yo-yoed my weight. My weight's gone from where I am now. I've been 25 stone, I've been 26 stone, I've been 16 stone. Where I am now is a nice sweet spot for strongman, and it's really good. And it's just incredible, to think that, as my coach calls me, an athlete, I'm an athlete. Yeah, okay, I don't look like a typical one, but I still am. I still compete, and compete on a reasonably good level. And hopefully one day I'll be pushing, natural athlete. I'll be pushing for hopefully something bigger than what I've got so far, because it takes work, takes work, a lot of work. I'm afraid the natty route is a lot more work. I appreciate there are people out there who obviously do cycles, but no, not for me. And ultimately, it takes a lot of work. And yes, I've gone from 78 kilos to 210 conventional, and yeah, it's taken me 4 or 5 years to do that. But that's the nature of the game. It takes a long time to build that strength, but it's an incredible feeling when you do. So yeah, that's it. Enjoy. I'm going to go do my accessories at the gym now. Nice and simple stuff. I'm not going to film it because it's boring for you. So yeah, whatever you're doing, enjoy. I will be back with my events training on Saturday. So enjoy. Speak soon.